McDonald's might have just brought us world peace with their new McDonaldland meal, at least in a way. So I made a video a while back about how fast food restaurants aren't the same as they used to be, just with the aesthetic of the building and even some of their merchandising with the toys and toy boxes. Back in the day, it seemed to really appeal to kids. Everything was nice and colorful, especially with like the red roofs at McDonald's, blue roofs at Burger King, and just the unique seating inside and that kind of stuff. Whereas now everything just seems a lot more bland. The buildings are gray or light brown, they're just squares. It's just all super oversimplified and quite frankly depressing. But even though I've criticized many restaurants for this, I do think McDonald's might be heading back in the right direction. Now when it comes to the actual buildings, I haven't heard anything about any construction plans to fix them and add the red roofs, but I do think McDonald's is starting to think about the kids again, and they're trying to transition back to a family restaurant, which is what it was always meant to be. What were the signs of this, you might ask? Well, over the last couple of years, they've been doing some unique stuff with some of the meals and the marketing. First of all, when it comes to the advertising, most of it just feels like it's targeted towards adults, and the same can be said about a lot of other restaurants. But I think McDonald's started to realize that it was always supposed to appeal to kids, so they started adding back some more characters that were part of Ronald McDonald's friend group that were a huge part of the advertising way back in the day. And I really think this is mainly the last couple of years that it's been escalating in a very good way, where in 2023, that summer, you had the whole Grimace shake deal where Grimace was in the marketing and then everyone was dying from Grimace's shake.
Going in.
Special happy birthday to my guy Grimace.
Happy milkshake month.
Cheers to you, Grimace. Happy birthday.
And even though it's just teenagers and content creators trying to do those short video trends, the young kids these days are always exposed to brain rot on their iPads, so they knew what was going on. They were playing Grimace games and Roblox. Not to mention they've also been doing like some adult Happy Meals, which is even a way to make adults happy. There's some nostalgia going on. One of the meals had different figurines of the McDonaldland characters. They even had the Kerwin Frost crossover meal that had the chicken nugget buddies. That was a really old thing they brought back. So McDonald's seems to be pulling from what worked before and making its customers feel nostalgic, which I will say in a way, that kind of stuff is targeted more towards adults and reminding them of their childhood. But because of all the advertising that goes on, it's still all exposed to kids and they see all the colorful stuff that was missing from the past decade or so. And that's especially true with that whole Minecraft McDonald meal thing. They were smart to do an adult Happy Meal and a kids Happy Meal so adults and kids can have the toys. And so let me tell you, the month of April, that was a great time to be at the movie theater and at McDonald's.
Nether.
We actually got Grimace. But now they have this new McDonaldland meal, which is basically like an adult Happy Meal, but it doesn't have the box. Where they have this new milkshake that kind of tasted like cotton candy, but I'll be honest, I blacked out when I was drinking it. So luckily I recorded a video. I just want to check it real quick.
Oh, we have the McDonaldland milkshake here. Surely it's nothing like the Grimace shake. Yeah, it just tastes like a normal milkshake.
Oh my. So anyways, it was so good I had a seizure and then, well, I woke up here and started recording this video. Anyways, it probably doesn't matter how I got here, because the fact of the matter is I'm making this video about McDonald's. Anyways, I was a little disappointed that they didn't have like a Happy Meal box for this, but the actual whatever you call it that comes with this meal was really cool. It came in this box here, which is nice and colorful. Again, it reminds me of how the advertisements for this brought McDonaldland back. It had been over 20 years since that was in any commercials, so it's great that kids are exposed to those types of commercials again. And then here is the thing, my character was Grimace. It's so funny, first try I get Grimace, like the best McDonald's character, and it's the same thing with the Minecraft meal. That was the toy I got. It's almost like Grimace is haunting me or something. That purple milkshake isn't even in stock, Grimace. You have no power here. Anyways, you get like Grimace's business card, a bunch of random stickers and whatnot, even a nice little mug shot of him. And then they have other characters like Hamburglar, I guess, Ronald McDonald, Birdie, that kind of stuff. But just to sum it all up, I think McDonald's is kind of heading back in the right direction. I do think it is a little bit more focused on adults feeling nostalgia, as opposed to just kids having a good childhood, unfortunately. Like, while this adult Happy Meal is in, the kids Happy Meal right now is like a Hello Kitty Ninja Turtle thing with just the cheap plastic toy. But still, it is refreshing to see this colorful advertising that finally seems like it appeals to kids again. And I hope other fast food restaurants are taking notes. But let me tell you, they really need to bring the red roofs back. Anyways, let me know in the comments section down below if you got the McDonaldland meal and survived the shake. If you haven't got the meal, I would recommend it if you're like a huge McDonald's fan or like collectibles, but otherwise it's not really worth the $15 or whatever. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.